All right. Hi, everyone. Just want to do a quick sound check. Can someone want to type in the box if you can hear me? If you can hear me, okay? Yes. Excellent. Good. 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 All right. So we had like 17 people signed up for class. We have 8, and it is just after 7 o'clock. So I don't want to hold everyone up too much, so we can get the use of our full hour. Welcome to Friday Longsword and Messer class. Today we're mostly going to be covering. We're going to go over. We're going to work on cutting. Really bring it down to basics and just kind of go over some things that can help. Really basic self checks to help with cutting. That you can do at home, and even if you're not using a sword-like object, but a like a weighted trainer or something, or a sword-like thing. So with that being said, let's go ahead and salute in first. So swords, left shoulder, Aktun, begrüße. Okay. All right, let's set our swords aside, or sword-like objects aside, and we will start with our normal warm-ups. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 1. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And all the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And big circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, now we're going to. Oh, geez. Sorry, everyone. It's been a long, long week. I've been moving and unpacking, and my brain is a little fried. All right, so big circles, and let's all the way down. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2. I know these are out of order, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll get us back on track. All right. And arm swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now we'll back all the way down again. Sorry. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to the right, left. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Deep lunge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Knees together. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, grab your swords or sword-like object. We'll do some practice cuts. All right. Open up my ceiling. All right. And so, from the High Vomtag or the High Vomtag or the Lugensland for the Messerfolk, we're going to cut Oberhau to the skull. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, from Lugensland or the High Vomtag to Long Point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, all the way down to Halber. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, back into now. From here, you can do this next bit. We're going to do right Oberhau. You can either go into the High Lugensland or Vomtag or Lugensland or the High Vomtag, or if you don't have a whole lot of room, feel free to do it from the shoulder as well. Whatever you're more comfortable with. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, there goes my furniture. 9, 10. Switch your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now we're going to do same thing. We're going to do left Oberhau, but we're going to follow it up with a right Unterhau. Now, the one thing that's important, make sure to finish the first cut, come into the Neben, and then do the Unterhau. Make sure to not blend them together. Okay? Dann 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch your feet. Right Oberhau, left Unter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, middle Hau. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch sides, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, into the right Stier or ox. We're going to do Oberhau with step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, into the right Nebenhut. Oberhau with step. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right, switch sides into the left ox. Oberhau with step. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, into the left Nebenhut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's go into Flug on the right, and we will thrust into Ox on the right. Und 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, from Flug on the right, we're going to thrust into Ox on the left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, switch sides. Get into Flug on the left, and we will thrust into Ox on the right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now Flug, from Flug to Ox, both on the left side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right down the middle, we're going to first thrust from the long point position. We're going to thrust winding, and we're making sure that our nails are down, right? Kind of a secunda thrust for all the rapier folks out there. Making sure that when you do this thrust, you're at elbow height. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now the other way. So when we do the same thing, we're going to thrust forward from long point. We're going to rotate with our nails facing up, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So now what we're going to do is from this long point, we are simply going to thrust out, right? As if you're stabbing someone right here in the throat. Now remember, when you're holding your sword in long point, you want to make sure that the tip is about that height, all right? So really, you're thrusting forward and pulling back and down, all right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, quick water break. So take about 10, 20 seconds, or take about like 30 seconds, grab quick water, and we will move on. Let me just check this here. Pete says my 2-year-old keeps stealing my messer. That's great. That's fun. The trouble with home HEMA, right? Which messer is your toddler assaulting you with? I hope it's not the Marksbrooder, the one that weighs like 9 pounds. But actually, let me grab my messer because we might be needing this for some demo stuff. All right. Hopefully everyone had a chance to grab some water. Yeah, that one's also heavy. So what I wanted to work on today, what is it, like 7:30 right now? 7:20? Okay. It's not going to be a super long class, but I wanted to also build in time for people to kind of work on some of this stuff. One of the things that we had been working on just before we had ended, while we were kind of wrapping up in-person classes, was working on kind of the I want to say cutting mechanics, but I know that term is used a lot. But I'm going to like use the words like hand, like making sure our hands are doing the correct thing while we cut, right? Or part of cutting mechanics. And in as much, one of the things I want to kind of talk about is how do we get the cut kind of started, and we're making sure that we finish where we're supposed to finish. And I think that once we start practicing that a little more, it'll be easier to kind of work in other mechanic stuff. So what I want to start doing, I want to have everyone grab your sword, sword-like object. This is more going to be for the two-handed sword folk, but it can apply, some of the basic stuff can apply to Messer and as well. So, all right, so let's begin in the Hoikvamtag, or the Lugensland, right? And we're going to just cut all the way down, right? Cut the Alber. Yeah. And for the newer folks, a lot of the times, what I tend to do is I talk about cutting and a lot of actions as a movement between the postures or positions. So I'll try to make sure to explain all of that. If I start talking in weird riddles, just to put a message in, and I'll clarify. So from the High Tag all the way to Alber. So what I want people to, I can't necessarily, I might be able to do this if I have enough space. I don't want to ruin my furniture here, but want to make sure that when we do this cut, we're beginning with our chest kind of up, kind of sticking out. And when we do this, making sure we're reaching out. Again, not hyperextending with the wrist, not loosening like with the fencing, like a kind of a handshake grip, making sure to keep that grip relatively solid, but not overly solid. This is something really hard to kind of look at over the internet, so I'm going to have to trust all of you not to overdo it. But also, I think the important thing here is making sure that we reach out and come down, right? Making sure that you're not ending here, but out, so your arms are extended, right? But also making sure that you're not just lowering your arms and doing a weird T-Rex thing, right? So let's do a couple of these. Let's just do 3. So, and 1, 2, 3. Now what that's going to do is that's going to give you kind of a baseline of how you're cutting right now, all right? So for this next exercise, what I want you to do is go back into that High Tag, right? And I want you to cut just using your left hand, right? So if you have the two-handed sword, for Messer, it's going to be a little harder. It's just going to be about practicing that extension. But the next part will cross, all right? So for Messer, making sure that, yeah, and getting that extension. If you're doing two-handed, making sure you have a good posture in the beginning. All right. Now do one hand. Come back up. One hand. Right. This is going to really test your grip strength. It's going to test some of your reach and arc. Right. You don't have to go really fast, but just practice coming down with just your left hand. Really work that muscle memory in. All right. Yep. Do a couple once in a while, just put that right hand back on. But I really want you to do is also focus on, do a couple with just the left hand. Right? And I want you to, every once in a while, let your right hand stay on it, but let the left hand take that other hand on a journey. All right? Let that sword, still keep a grip. But what I want you to do is keep making sure that even once you have this arc, right? Let the right hand stay on once in a while, and just go along for the ride. All right. So do a couple more of those. And for the messer folk, just keep practicing the proper reach. All right. Switch, actually, and if you want, switch hands just to get practice. All right? So from messer folk, from Lugenzahn, practice cutting the best day, and then switch hands. Practice the other side. Right? But if you're like me and have a messer that is basically the size of a longsword and have enough space for both hands, again, do a little longsword practice. Just the left hand. Reach out. Make sure you get that extension. Yeah. You should, depending on the model you have. This isn't the loudest fetter, but still get some more sword wind here. Little correct edge alignment. Yeah. So now that you've done a few of those, what I want you to do is think about, or try to keep that muscle memory of this, right, in your head. Because what I want you to do now is we're going to shift into right overhow. And one of the things that frequently happens in right overhow, and this is thing that I've been corrected by my teacher, and so if this is leaked into other people's work, it's my fault because I've been doing it wrong. I've been not teaching it wrong, but I've been lax in my self standards. So this is something I spent a lot of the summer trying to correct for myself. So let's go back up to this Lugensland, or the Hoikvamtak. And we're going to cut right overhow. And when we do this, we want to make sure that our left hand is still coming straight down. Right? Our left hand is going to end, as we're always saying, about like a fist and a half away from our belly button. But it's going to end up in Alber. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to now take our right hand and send it on that 45-degree angle, that journey, right? See what happened with my left hand? My left hand stayed, but my right hand brought it on the angle, all right? And that's going to do a couple things. Let's practice a few, and then I'll talk about it just a little bit, all right? So from here, we'll add just another little bit in just a second. But just making sure your left hand is out is doing is coming down, going on that arc. Right. What that is essentially going to allow you to do, 45-degree angle is kind of what we test cut a lot, but it is not the only angle in which we need to cut. You need to cut whatever angle you need to learn how to cut. And basically what we're doing here is we're making the sword go, right? We're doing most of the cutting with our left hand, but then our right hand is just kind of the rudder. It's acting as the navigation, right? Whether we're going to go left, right, but our center hand stays the same. 5, yeah. Now the next part of this is making sure that we get the tip out, right? We want to make sure that we're not going all the way back, all those kind of tell things. The easiest way to prevent a lot of tells and also getting the blade in the right spot. We're always talking about using these 2 fingers on both hands to kind of help get a little initial squeeze on the sword, right? From here, you can do that to the angle you want, right? From Lugensland, Hoikvamtag, you can do that and start getting the sword out, right? Again, I'm not doing so much with my left hand, but I'm pushing the sword forward, squeezing the sword forward with my right into the angle and making sure to get the tip out and down. Now, you'll notice, and one way that you can kind of tell that you haven't just cut this way, right? This is something we see a lot, right? Sword cuts over here. Unless you're intentionally trying to cut the flug, you want to make sure your left hand is still, if you had just cut, sword would end in halber. But because this hand, because your right hand is kind of centered on a 45-degree journey, your sword is ending in this kind of Wechselhut, or this left halber kind of area. Yeah. So from here, let's everyone go into the High Lugensland, or the Vamtag. What I just want everyone to do is practice leaving your left hand in place, but using the right hand, snapping it out. Right? Right. Good. And then after you've done a few of those, cut. Right? And one of the ways you'll be able to tell that you've cut along that proper line, or your left hand is mostly staying where it should be, your hands be a little crossed, right? It's hard to kind of zoom in on it because I don't have a zoom, but when I end the cut, my left hand is right in front of my belly button, and my right hand is kind of moved a little bit to the left, right? The hands are crossing just a little bit. Just a little bit. Right? The same thing on the left, right? Left hand comes straight down, but when I cut, left hand still in front of my belly button, and my right hand's drifting to my right side a little bit. It's not crossing over the other hand, but that's just a body mechanics thing. But my left hand's a little under the right, because my left hand is doing all the navigation. Well, my right hand's doing all navigation, and my left hand is just powering it through down to that Alber position. Yeah, so that's just. Does anyone have any questions so far? I'm just gonna lean in here to the chat. Okay, yeah, no problem. And for the Messer folk, it's difficult because you only have the one hand, right? But I've been finding to cut the Messer, you still have to pretend. It's almost like you have to kind of pretend. Let me grab a little Messer here. Yeah. That left hand is still there, right? And part of and what I've noted, and this is actually something Tristan and I have been actively working on, or working out for the Messer cutting, has been, you don't necessarily want it to that right hand to remain immediately in front of you like you would like how your left hand is supposed to be on the back of the sword. You want it to be just a little bit to the right, and if you're doing right overpower, just like a little bit to the left. Right? Again, you have like a ghost, as if your ghost left hand is there, and same thing with the left, because originally what we were trying to do is get the cut to like everything to mechanically line up with the belly button, like where I was talking about the belly button laser. But we've been finding the cuts end up being better if like the hand, again, as if there's that kind of ghost hand behind it. Yeah. I just had a lot more frequent success with the tatami cutting in that case. Yeah. So where does that put us at? That actually puts us at a really early class. So yeah, so I apologize. But so this is going to be, like I said, like it's going to be a shorter class. I know this is blocked out till 8 o'clock, but what I'd like everyone to do is to take the next like 20 minutes or so and practice this. As I said earlier, this is something that is really, really difficult for me to gauge through the computer box, to be able to kind of figure out the smaller corrections and such. So I'm going to kind of have to leave that up to you and your like kind of reading your body a little bit to make sure that you're doing okay. So I just want to encourage everyone to do a little more work there. Yeah, or just like so practice for the next like 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll pick up. I promise. I'll be doing another class on Tuesday, and we'll have what I'm going to do is there'll be a lot of cutting practice. We have our normal 6 cutting forms that we've been using to kind of practice the Oberhau, Unterhau, and Mittelhau. And so we'll be reviewing all of those on Tuesday and Friday of next week. If anyone, I should have all of those written out, and I will try to shoot videos of them if I have time this weekend. But again, I'm kind of coming off a move, etc. So things are a little crazy right now. Yeah, does anyone have any final questions before I before I head out? Either raise your hand, feel free to raise your hand, or type something into the box. No, okay. It's looking. Again, I apologize for the short class, but we will return next week in full swing. All right. Yeah, everyone have a fantastic weekend, and be safe. Wear a mask when you're outside. And I will talk to you all soon. Good night.